Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Back to the books. After several delays, the area's largest school district heads back to class for a very unprecedented year. Plus, signing up to help. The challenges Rockford Fire is having recruiting new firefighters. And creeping upward, a new COVID testing site opens as one county's positivity rate grows. Good evening, I'm Brittany Toulis. Eric and Mimi are off tonight. RPS 205 students packed their backpacks and got on the bus for their first day of a very different school year. Today was the start date for in-person learning, but only half of those students who chose to go to school started today. Those kids had last names beginning with A to K. Tomorrow, last names L through Z will head to in-person class. All remote learning students started today as well. RPS pushed the first day back to school today from its original date last week after technical issues. This year isn't just different for the students, but for their parents as well. Michelle Rave found out dropping kids off for their first day is made harder during a pandemic.
Our first year dropping them off, we don't even get the actual, cliche walk-in, so a little bit different.
For parents Sabrina and Paul TONKOVIC, dropping their son off at Johnson Elementary School wasn't what they had pictured.
Well, our son Peyton, it's his first day of school today, kindergarten, 5 years old. So we've been dreading this moment for a long time, but here it is and we're excited. Hopefully we're as excited as he is.
This is something totally new for little Peyton.
He didn't really say much until we were standing around here, and I kind of grabbed him by the shoulders like, Dad, and said, hey, what's up, kid? You nervous? And he's, yeah, definitely nervous. You just got to roll with the punches, The hardest part's going to tell him to keep his mask on, but we went out and got him a cool little mask that hopefully he likes and, gets to keep on.
Keeping a mask on at all times is also a concern for parent KELSEY CHAFFER.
Having to have a 6-year-old with a mask on all day is very stressful. Just making her keep 6 feet is really hard as well, but yeah, it's definitely something she's gonna have to get used to. It's pretty scary, a little bit.
CHAFFER says while she's hoping for the best, she's also realistic.
I think there's only so much you can feel safe about right now, so I guess it doesn't really help that you're reading it because everything's going to happen if it happens. So
both families tell me they're excited to start a new but different school year.
I think he's going to do great. He's very outgoing. He loves people, so he'll have no problem being, meeting kids, being friends, and being polite.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
The Belvidere School District is taking a mulligan on the first day of classes after Mother Nature steps in. A lightning strike forced the district to cancel classes today. The force knocked out the Belvidere 100 computer servers around 11 this morning. Belvidere District 100 opted to go completely remote for all students. No one was hurt by the lightning strike. Classes are expected to start again tomorrow. Northern Illinois University sees a boost in enrollment thanks to a bigger than usual freshman class. Between fall of 2019 and 2020, the college saw over 2,000 more freshmen in the first week and a half of classes. That's up 8%. The first-year students bring a promising statistic along with them. The average high school GPA of all the freshmen sits at 3.32. That's the second highest NIU has seen in over a decade. The bigger first-year student numbers helped NIU's overall enrollment grow by over 150. The search for a missing state line boater continues into a second day. The 64-year-old went missing yesterday at Lake Somerset. Investigators say the man jumped off of a boat and hasn't been seen since. Dive crews from multiple agencies are combing the lake for the 64-year-old. After a day, the rescue mission has shifted into a recovery. The Illinois State Police are leading the search. The missing man's identity has not been released. One State Line Fire Department is looking to add more to its ranks. Dylan Strachey talked with Rockford's Fire Department about their efforts to add more diversity to its crews. Dylan tells us they're making steps in the right direction.
Rockford Fire leaders say in the last few years, they've made positive progress towards their goal of having a more diverse department that better reflects the people living here. Rockford Fire recruiter Bo Cheney says there are some barriers he works to overcome when trying to convince minorities to join the fire department. One challenge he's dealing with right now is negative public perception of first responders. He tells me a big part of his job currently is meeting with prospective recruits to try and educate them and break down any biases they might have. And the outreach effort is paying off.
The current recruiting class right now, they're at the academy now, we have 6 minorities in the class. So that's a big difference from what we had in the past. And since the Rockford area is changing, this shows that the class is kind of changing with the area.
Cheney says October, which is Fire Prevention Month, is a busy time for recruiting. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Dylan Saraki.
The Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hintz appears in court today, accused of stealing from taxpayers. Hintz entered a not guilty plea. Police arrested the coroner and his wife last week. The criminal complaint says Bill Hintz used his county-issued credit card for personal expenses since April of 2018. Michelle Hintz does not work for the county. The couple faces a list of charges, including forgery, theft, and conspiracy. Bill is scheduled to be back in court on October 20th. Across Illinois, close to 1,400 more people have contracted COVID-19. That brings the state's total to over 252,300 cases of the virus over the outbreak span. 7 more people have died. The death toll is now close to 8,200. The 7-day positivity rate sits at 4%. Health officials want to keep that number below 5%. Boone County is reporting another 29 cases today, bringing its positivity rate to over 8%. To help combat the spread, more testing is available. The free drive-through and walk-up site is in the Boone County Administrative Building's parking lot. It'll be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't need insurance to get tested, but officials ask you to bring an insurance card if you do have one. A former Rockford returning from active duty is set to take his job back. City Council is set to reinstate Jonathan Logeman as the 2nd Ward Alderman during tonight's meeting. Logeman is the captain with the National Guard. In July 2019, he stepped down and was deployed to Afghanistan to serve in Operation Freedom Sentinel. Tony Gasparini filled in during Logeman's absence. He resigned at the last council meeting so Logeman could return. The race to the White House heads into a crucial phase. President Trump hopes for a vaccine before Election Day as his challenger Joe Biden uses Trump's handling of the virus as part of his campaign against the president. Inés de la Huerta has more.
As he hits the campaign trail, President Trump responding to reports his campaign is struggling financially, revealing he would be willing to self-fund his campaign if necessary.
Yeah, if I have to, I would, but we're doing very well.
Trump contributed over $60 million to his 2016 campaign, but declined to say just how much he'd be willing to spend this time around.
Whatever it takes, we have to win. This is the most important election in the history of our country.
This comes as his opponent reports a record $364 million raised in August. Joe Biden now using that cash to roll out 2 new ads, one reminding viewers Biden wants to protect Social Security, the other slamming the president's handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
We need to get control over the virus. Donald Trump failed.
State and national polls showing Trump trailing Biden, especially when it comes to COVID-19. Trump now hinting a vaccine may be ready before the general election.
President Trump is getting this vaccine in record time. By the way, if this were the Obama administration, you wouldn't have that vaccine for 3 years, and you probably wouldn't have it at all.
Senator Kamala Harris was asked if she would trust a Trump administration vaccine.
It would have to be a credible source of information that talks about the efficacy and the reliability of whatever he's talking about. I will not take his word for it. He wants us to inject bleach. No, I will not take his word.
The administration hitting back by accusing Democrats of trying to politicize the vaccine.
This is the political season. They're going to criticize anything that the president is involved with. I can tell you it's good science and good doctors and great companies that are actually working hand in glove to try to deliver something in record speed.
That's Inés de la Huerta reporting.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
It has been a very rainy Tuesday afternoon, coming off of a gorgeous weekend where temperatures were in the 70s and the 80s. We've struggled this afternoon to even make it out of the 50s and low 50s at that. That steady and heavy rainfall we had from late last night throughout much of this morning and afternoon becoming a bit more scattered, and actually we've got a little bit of dry time in here over the past hour to hour and a half. But we will still see a few more scattered showers and even a couple of isolated thunderstorms as we continue to pull in a bit more moisture from the southwest for us this evening. That steady rainfall continues moving across parts of Iowa and into Wisconsin here. All of this thanks to a stationary boundary that is to our south this evening. This is actually where we've had a few stronger thunderstorms develop during the afternoon, but that is going to stay to the south. But the combination of the rain and the heavy rain and thunderstorms we had from last night and throughout the day today brought our rainfall totals in a few spots up over 3 inches of rain, and that's just coming down in a matter of 24 hours. In fact, over the past 24 hours, we've had over 3.5 inches of rain come down here, measured at the Rockford Airport, over 1.5 inches from Freeport to Monroe, a little over 1 inch. Same thing down in Rochelle and DeKalb. In fact, our weather watcher Paul in Belvidere says he's had a little over 2 inches of rain, 2.07 to be exact. And Mike up in Roscoe, also 2 inches of rain and a steady temperature in the 50s. And that cloud cover is going to stick around, making it feel more like late October than mid-September, early September, in fact. Now, the good news for us, well, yeah, we needed some rainfall. We didn't need it to come down all in one fall swoop here, as we've had some puddles actually develop and some standing water from some of that rain in some spots. It does become a little bit more scattered, so we'll hang on to a few of those scattered showers, and there will be some heavier downpours associated with that at times, but it won't be a widespread heavy rain event here as we go through the night tonight. Tomorrow, there are still going to be some rain showers, and we are going to continue with that northeasterly wind. So tomorrow, it is going to be another chilly day, kind of similar to today with those low clouds, that cool, damp feeling, and that breezy condition too, but the rain won't be as steady. We actually get a little bit more dry air working in overnight Wednesday and into Thursday, so this will cut off some of that rainfall. We'll still see a couple of scattered showers around, but we'll hold on to that cloud cover as we head through Thursday afternoon. 52 right now from Freeport to Monroe, 58 our current temperature in Rockford, 57 our weather watcher Bob here in Rockford's checking in with, and had a rainfall 24 hours since it started yesterday at 3 inches of rain. Our temperatures, they have been pretty steady all afternoon, hard pressed to really break that 60-degree mark as we've stayed in the mid-50s since this morning and through this evening. Quite the contrast from where we were the first 7 days here of the month, where temperatures were in the 70s and the 80s. And in fact, unofficially, that high of 58 this afternoon tied our record cold high of 58 degrees set back in 1917. And we could break another record cold high for tomorrow, forecasting high of 61. That record cold high 63 degrees, 52. That's where we end up for tonight. A few of those scattered showers, isolated thunderstorm, 61 as we head into the afternoon. Still going to be a bit on the gustier side. Those temperatures, they climb, but it's slow. We stay below average, Brittany, through the middle to end of this week. We'll see the 70s return with another chance for some thunderstorms heading into the weekend.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
The Bears will be shorthanded, or more precisely, short one big leg when they open the season. Eddie Pinheiro has been put on the injured list. A groin injury has prevented him from kicking throughout camp, and it hasn't healed like the Bears had hoped. That's why they have Cairo Santos on the practice squad. The kicking job will likely be his. Pinheiro can't return for at least 3 weeks. The earliest he could play would be October 4th against the Colts. The running back spot still a question mark with David Montgomery with a strained groin. The Bears haven't provided an update on his status for this Sunday. The Bears don't seem to be inclined to sign another running back. Ryan Pace is content with Tariq Cohn, Cordell Patterson, and Ryan Nall.
We feel good about our running back room. I've said this before. They all bring a different skill set. You know, they're all different. They all complement each other really well. So we feel really strong about that room, all 4 of them. Including Artavis Pierce on the practice squad.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars obviously like what they have at running back, and Rockford Lutheran grad James Robinson. He's listed number 1 on their depth chart going into their opener against the Colts Sunday. Doug Marrone, though, plans to go with a running back by committee of Robinson, Chris Thompson, and Devon Ezigbo.
I'm excited to get these guys out there and watch them go. I mean, Chris is healthy for the first time. Ezigbo is really earns a spot, I mean, from what he's done. And, you know, James Robinson, you know, a guy that not many people know, has really had a good camp.
Well, there are no major issues in Green Bay right now. The Packers are locked in on the Vikings. Matt LaFleur says a switch has been flipped because it's game week.
Yeah, I just think it's your focus, and you have an opponent. And so we're going to have a a game plan, obviously, in all three phases, and it's just the attention that now goes less on evaluating your own roster and going against each other. I think these guys are all kind of sick of going against each other, and they're looking forward to playing somebody new.
The NFL's latest COVID test results are encouraging. Over the past week, out of more than 2,600 players tested, only one tested positive. That's sports. We'll be right back.
More scattered showers with us. Our first warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We'll continue with those scattered showers here as we go through the rest of this evening, even into tomorrow, but not quite as steady of a rainfall for tomorrow afternoon. Temperature is still chilly in the 60s.
We got to keep those umbrellas close. Thanks, Candace, and thanks for joining us tonight.